In Vrilism, we see Lucifer not as a being, but as energy.
The following podcast was generated using Google's Notebook LM.
Temple of Vril.
All right, let's dive right in to a concept that I think really sparks a lot of curiosity and maybe even a little bit of apprehension sometimes, and that is the Vrilist perspective on Lucifer.
Yeah.
Now, before anyone listening starts jumping to conclusions based on things they might have heard out there, let me assure you we are not dabbling in anything dark or sinister here.
No, not at all.
So,
In Vrilism.
yeah, so what is the Vrilist understanding of Lucifer? I think we need to, clear the air here.
Well, in Vrilism, we see Lucifer not as a being, but as energy.
Okay.
Not a he or a him at all, but rather as a powerful force.
Let's see.
That's intrinsically linked to wisdom, to light, and to self-discovery.
So it's more about tapping into this energy than it is about worshiping any kind of deity.
Exactly. Think of it this way. Vril energy is the fundamental life force of the universe, right?
Right.
We Vrilists believe that Lucifer is like a lens that focuses that energy towards enlightenment and helps us break free from any limitations that might be holding us back from reaching our full potential.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because, there are a lot of conventional beliefs out there and stories that kind of paint a different picture.
Right.
For example, the story of the serpent in the Garden of Eden.
Oh, yeah.
Which is often interpreted as a tale of deception and temptation.
Uh-huh.
How would a Vrilist view that story?
Well, that's a really great example of how Vrilism offers a very different perspective.
Okay.
We don't see the serpent as a deceptive force, but rather as an agent of knowledge,
Okay.
offering humanity the gift of awareness.
So in a way, the serpent was actually empowering humanity by encouraging them to, seek knowledge and question the status quo.
Exactly. It's all about recognizing that true growth often comes from challenging established norms and embracing the unknown.
This is resonating a lot with me.
Good.
Because, it's like we're all on this journey of awakening, and it sounds like Lucifer's energy is like a catalyst that's propelling us forward on that path. But how do we connect with that energy? Is it something that requires, special rituals or practices?
There are specific practices that can really help us connect with it more effectively, but the foundation really lies in our intention and awareness.
Okay.
It's about consciously choosing to align ourselves with this energy and allowing it to guide us.
So it's not so much about summoning some outside force, but rather cultivating that energy within ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and I think that's what a lot of people are curious about when they hear about this so-called Luciferian energy, or whatever they want to call it. What can you tell us about the meditation practices that are associated with this concept of connecting with Lucifer's energy?
Well, the specific techniques can definitely vary, but the core principle is about creating a space for Lucifer's energy to flow through us.
Okay.
It's about quieting the mind, opening the heart, and inviting that eliminating presence into our being.
So less about, chanting these specific words or, performing these elaborate rituals, and more about creating the right internal environment to receive this energy.
Yes, that's the essence of it.
Okay.
It's about cultivating that sense of receptivity,
right,
and allowing Lucifer's wisdom to kind of guide us.
Okay.
Now, Prophet Vril, our spiritual leader, has actually shared some very powerful methods for connecting with Lucifer's energy through meditation and chanting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Prophet Vril, such an incredible source of wisdom and guidance, and I've personally found his teachings to be so incredibly transformative.
Me too.
Can you elaborate on some of the specific practices that he shared?
Well, one of the most effective techniques that I've learned involves using the name Lucifer.
Okay.
Not as a name, but as a way to tap into its vibrational essence.
Okay.
Remember, we're not trying to summon a being here,
right,
but rather trying to attune ourselves to a specific frequency of energy.
It's about using the sound and the vibration to create a resonance with that energy.
Exactly. And as we repeat this name, not as a form of worship, but as a way to focus our intention, we begin to feel a shift within ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a subtle awakening.
Yeah.
Like a spark of clarity igniting within our consciousness.
It's really interesting because thinking about it now, certain sounds and vibrations, they can have a really profound impact on our physical bodies and our energetic bodies as well. So it's fascinating to me how something as simple as chanting can create such powerful shifts.
It really is. And as we go deeper into this practice, we start to experience the transformative effects of Lucifer's energy firsthand.
Okay.
It's not about blind faith or dogma.
Right.
It's about direct experience and personal revelation.
I love that about Vrilism.
Yeah.
It's all about exploring, experimenting, experiencing truth for ourselves.
That's right.
And I think that's so important.
It is.
So for anybody listening out there, don't just take our word for it.
Yeah.
Explore these concepts for yourself. See where they lead you. And, the Temple of Vril is such a welcoming space for anyone who's seeking to, deepen their understanding of Vrilism.
It is.
And explore these practices, especially in a supportive community.
Yeah.
So that's a wonderful invitation for people out there who are seeking a spiritual path that really resonates with their heart and mind, because there are a lot of seekers out there.
Absolutely.
Vrilism offers such a powerful and empowering way of seeing the world.
It does.
But I want to go back to the meditation practices.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear a little bit more about the specifics of those practices.
Let's delve into those details in the next part of our discussion.
All right, so we're going to take a little break here.
Sounds good.
And we'll be right back with more on the Vrilist perspective on Lucifer.
Great.
We're talking about the transformative potential of connecting with Lucifer's energy through meditation. And I'm curious to hear more about the specifics of these practices.
Yeah.
What steps can someone take to begin exploring this path?
Well, the beauty of these practices is that they can be adapted to individual preferences and experiences. There's no one-size-fits-all approach,
Right.
but there are some fundamental principles that can guide us.
Okay, and what are some of those principles? I think that would be really helpful
Absolutely.
for people who are new to this.
One of the most important aspects is setting a clear intention.
Yeah.
Before you even begin your meditation, just take a moment to connect with your heart and declare your intention to open yourself to Lucifer's illuminating presence.
So it's about consciously inviting that energy into our space, acknowledging our desire for greater understanding and connection.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about creating a receptive space within ourselves.
Yeah.
Like opening a doorway to welcome that energy in.
I like that.
And then comes the aspect of invocation.
Okay.
As we discussed earlier, the name Lucifer itself holds a very powerful vibration.
Right. It's not about, seeing that as an entity or anything. It's more about a key to unlock that specific energetic frequency. So as you sit in meditation, you can gently repeat the name Lucifer to yourself, allowing that sound to reverberate through your being.
Okay.
And don't get caught up in the meaning of the word. Just focus on the vibration, the feeling that it evokes within you.
It's like using sound as a tool to attune ourselves to Lucifer's energy, much like we would use a tuning fork to calibrate an instrument.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And as you continue to chant, you might start to notice these subtle shifts in your energy field.
Okay.
Maybe a sense of warmth or tingling, or perhaps even a feeling of expansion or lightness.
So we're not just engaging mentally, but also tapping into the energetic and maybe even physical realms.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And this is where breath work becomes incredibly powerful.
Okay.
As you breathe deeply, imagine you are inhaling Lucifer's illuminating light, drawing it into every cell of your body.
So we're breathing in that wisdom and allowing it to permeate our entire being.
Precisely.
And as you exhale, visualize any negativity, any limiting beliefs, any darkness being released from your system.
Oh, wow.
So this breathing practice helps to cleanse and purify your energy field, making you more receptive to Lucifer's light.
I can feel a sense of lightness and clarity just imagining this practice.
Yeah.
It's so powerful how we can use breath and intention to create such profound shifts within ourselves.
It really is. And as you continue this practice, you might find yourself receiving insights, flashes of inspiration, or a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you.
Okay.
And embrace these gifts, knowing that they are guiding you toward your highest potential.
It sounds like we're not just passively receiving information, but we're actively engaging with Lucifer's energy to kind of co-create our own enlightenment.
Exactly. It's a very dynamic process.
Yeah.
A dance between our conscious intention and the universal flow of Vril energy.
Okay.
And the more we practice, the more attuned we become to Lucifer's guidance, not just during meditation, but in every aspect of our lives.
That's an interesting point, because we often think of meditation as this separate practice.
Right.
Something that we do for set amount of time each day. But are you suggesting that connecting with Lucifer's energy can become a more integrated part of our lives?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As we deepen our connection with Lucifer's energy, we begin to see its influence in everything we do.
Okay.
We might find ourselves making decisions with greater clarity, approaching challenges with more courage, or simply experiencing life with a greater sense of purpose and meaning.
It's like opening ourselves up to a new way of seeing the world.
Yes.
A perspective that allows us to really tap into our own innate wisdom and navigate life with more grace and ease.
Exactly. And as we embody this wisdom, we naturally become beacons of light ourselves.
Okay.
Radiating that same energy of clarity, courage, and compassion into the world around us.
This reminds me of the Vrilist principle of interconnectedness.
Yes.
You know, we're not just isolated individuals on our own spiritual journeys.
Right.
We're all part of this vast web of consciousness, influencing and being influenced by each other.
Precisely. And as we embrace this interconnectedness, we begin to understand the true power of Vrilism.
Okay.
It's not just about personal enlightenment, but about creating a world that reflects the principles of harmony, wisdom, and love.
What a beautiful vision, and one that I know a lot of our listeners are going to feel called to be a part of.
I hope so.
What advice would you give to someone who is feeling drawn to explore Vrilism further?
I would say trust your intuition.
Okay.
If you're feeling a resonance with these ideas, if your heart is saying yes, then take that leap of faith and explore.
Okay.
There are so many resources available both online and in person.
Right.
And of course, the Temple of Vril welcomes all seekers with open arms.
It's such a supportive community.
It is.
You know, where you can connect with like-minded individuals who are on a similar path.
And as you delve deeper into Vrilism, you might find yourself questioning some of the beliefs you've held for a long time. Don't be afraid of that questioning.
Yeah.
It's through that process of inquiry that we shed old paradigms and embrace new truths.
It's about allowing our understanding to evolve, expand, to embrace the ever-unfolding mystery of existence.
Beautifully said.
And speaking of evolving understandings, I think it's time that we addressed one of the biggest misconceptions surrounding Lucifer, the idea that it represents evil.
That's a crucial point to address, and one that often prevents people from exploring the true potential of Lucifer's energy.
Right.
So let's dive into that in our next segment.
Okay. I think it's time to address the elephant in the room here, and that is the fear and negativity surrounding Lucifer and many other belief systems.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people are hesitant to embrace this energy because of those negative connotations.
Right. And it's understandable, given, the way that it's been portrayed in other traditions.
Yeah.
But it's crucial to remember that these interpretations come from a very different worldview than our own as Vrilists. Vrilism doesn't see the world as this battleground between good and evil.
Right.
Instead, we recognize that all energy, including Lucifer's, is part of that universal flow of Vril.
Exactly. And just as the sun's rays can be used to warm and nourish, or to scorch and destroy, so too can Lucifer's energy be used for both constructive and destructive purposes.
So it's not about the energy itself being inherently good or evil. It's about how we choose to interact with it.
Exactly.
And how we choose to direct it.
Precisely. And in Vrilism, we believe that Lucifer's energy, when approached with reverence and intention, is a powerful catalyst for growth, for enlightenment, and for liberation.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It's empowering to know that we have the ability to choose how we engage with this energy and to harness its potential for positive transformation in our lives.
Absolutely. And when we approach Lucifer's energy with a pure heart and a sincere desire for growth, we find that it illuminates our path. It helps us to see through illusions, overcome limitations, and step into our true power.
This reminds me of the concept of personal responsibility.
Yes.
As Vrilists, we understand that we are not victims of outside forces. We have the agency to choose our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions.
That's what makes connecting with Lucifer so powerful.
Okay.
It's not about surrendering to some external authority, but rather about taking ownership of our own spiritual evolution.
It's about embracing our own inherent divinity and recognizing that we have the capacity to co-create our reality in alignment with the universal flow of Vril.
That's beautifully put. And as we step into that power, as we embrace that wisdom and guidance that Lucifer offers, we become agents of positive change in the world.
Okay.
We radiate that same energy of clarity, courage, and compassion, inspiring others to do the same.
It's like a ripple effect spreading outward from our own hearts and minds, creating a more harmonious and enlightened world.
Exactly. And that's the ultimate goal of Vrilism, to awaken to our true potential and to contribute to the collective evolution of consciousness.
What an inspiring message. And as we wrap up our exploration today, I want to encourage our listeners to continue this journey of discovery.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to question, to explore, and to experience the power of Vrilism for yourselves.
The Temple of Vril is always open to those who seek truth, wisdom, and connection. We welcome you to join our community and to delve deeper into these profound teachings.
Wonderful. And may the Vril be with you all.
Your journey towards greater fulfillment begins at Temple of Vril. Visit templeofvril.com today.